Justin Hawkins rides again. Good day to you. It is I, Justin Hawkins. Justin Hawkins rides again. Like, subscribe, sign up for the alerts today. I'm rushing a little bit because I'm talking about Richard Thompson. It's impossible, I think, to do a short playlist of his music because he's just got so much stuff that you need to hear. A couple of people have asked me to do an episode on Richard Thompson. He probably deserves more than one, really, because he's had, and I quote, I'm just going to read you a couple of facts. He's written and released a total of 18 solo albums. But he gained prominence in the late 60s as a lead guitarist and songwriter for the folk rock group Fairport Convention. He also played on the Nick Drake stuff as well. He's just a really good lead guitarist. He released his debut solo album, Henry the Human Fly, in 1972. The next year, he formed a duo with his then-wife, Linda Thompson, which produced 6 albums, including the critically acclaimed I Want to See the Bright Lights Tonight, which is one of my favourite records of all time. 3 of his albums have been nominated for Grammys. His songwriting has earned him an Ivor Novello Award, and in 2006, a Lifetime Achievement Award from BBC Radio. Music critic Neil McCormick described Thompson as a versatile, virtuoso guitarist and a sharp, observational singer-songwriter whose work burns with intelligence and dark emotion. That is a lovely way to put it. That's exactly how I'd describe him if I had the words to do so. It's brilliant. Yeah, the first I heard of him was like my brother was playing like some session guitar for an artist called Liz Horseman. And Liz Horseman was on tour with Richard Thompson, so I went down to Ipswich, I think, to watch my brother play. Stuck around and saw Richard Thompson, and obviously he was amazing. This guy, I always talk about his guitar playing because when he's doing like the rhythm stuff, it's awesome. There is a rumour that he only records live. He won't allow any sort of overdubs or retakes or anything. He records his albums live. But when he's doing a solo, he makes kind of transitions and uses intervals that I don't think would be natural to most guitar players. He's got a unique musical mind, and it's really fun to listen to him play because you just don't know where he's going to go with it, and it's super exciting. So let's get into the playlist I've prepared for you. Unusually, it's a long-ish one by my standards so far. So it's called Richard Thompson Yay, and there's a link to it in the description. Starts off with a song from that critically acclaimed album with him and his wife Linda, called the Calvary Cross. Once it kicks off, it's super atmospheric. It's fairly laid back. It has all these kind of almost like a gospel choir singing along with him. Just makes you feel good in a weird way, actually. A slight sense of foreboding, loads of sadness in it. He is dark. He's very dark. Always so dark. And then the next one I put on is from the same record. It's actually the opening track from that record called When I Get to the Border. When I get to the border. I love that song. When I get to the border.
Take what's mine, I can leave them all.
I love his voice as well. Like when he gets into his sort of 80s solo stuff, I think his the sort of, because of the production of the 80s and the way his music is represented in that decade, I feel like his voice sort of takes on something a little bit David Byrne-ish, and it all gets a bit Talking Headsy. I especially noticed that on an album called Amnesia. So I've chosen 3 songs from that for this playlist. Turning of the Tide is one of them.
How many boys, one night stands, how many lips, how many hands have held?
From the turning of the tide. I always sort of sing Richard Thompson stuff with a terrible Irish accent, and I don't know why I do it. I apologise to my friends in Ireland and everybody else who's offended by that. And then there's Gypsy Love Songs. Oh my god, this one really rocks, actually. Tropical night, malaria moon. I chose this sort of slowish one after that called Reckless Kind. It's also from Amnesia. And I think my favourite part of this is the solo. Actually, it just the way he explores that passage of music. He just sort of has this relentless thread of ideas that just flows through it, and I just don't understand where he gets his ideas from. It's ingenious. He really is. It's one of those things where you just have to marvel at it, as is not to ponder how he comes to these musical conclusions, really, because he's just like, I don't know. It's a gift, isn't it? He's a gifted guitar player. A lot of people know this about him. He's one of those sort of Lindsey Buckingham types, where he's a rhythmic lead player at times. He's technical when he needs to be, super tasteful, never oversaturated. He's just always right there. Sits in with a track and then pops his head out with something dissonant and unexpected, and smacks you over the back of the head, and then runs off with all your money, and then you turn around and say, "Thank you, Richard. Thank you." So there's another album that I really like as well. I mean, of the 18, I've chosen stuff from 2. I suppose, is it 3? Are we including the Richard and Linda Thompson stuff? I've chosen 3 albums, and so Across a Crowded Room is the last one that I've chosen some songs from. One of them is called When the Spell is Broken, which I think is the opening track from that album. When the spell is broken, when the spell is broken, oh, no, 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 no. Can't cry. How's it go again?
When the spell is broken,
can't cry if you don't know how. Reminds me a little bit of Gold Dust Woman.
Rock on, Gold Dust Woman.
When the spell is broken, when the spell is broken, oh no 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 no, you can't cry if you don't know how. That's a great song. I just forgot the words because I'm useless at that sort of thing. It's got this lovely refrain at the end of it. Can't cry if you don't know how. And all the time he's doing this. Like a solo up there. Can't cry if you don't know how. It's great. Powerful. I put one called You Don't Say on there as well from the same album, Across a Crowded Room. Just because it's a bit up-tempo. And it's got another interesting guitar solo where he sort of meanders down and you never really know where he's going to land. And then he lands, and boy, does it land. It lands right between your... What are these bits here? Pecs. Right, lands right between your pecs. In the heart. Heart. Wow. That's for you, Richard. All of this is for you. What a great artist. I'm going to do more about him. I'll probably choose like whole albums next time, because I just don't think with an oeuvre like that and a catalogue to die for, it's impossible to just select a few tracks and say this is what you should listen to. I mean, if you go onto Richard Thompson on Spotify, the sort of main songs that you're going to see don't appear on my playlist, and I think the ones I've put on my playlist are absolute bangers, which shows you what a remarkable artiste he is, and remains. He does these cruises on the Danube, where you can go and listen to him play acoustic stuff, do questions and answers, and all the time you're going along the Danube, looking at all that scenery through Europe. Must be amazing. Me and my brother often talk about doing that. It would be a great experience. And also he wears a beret, so that's part of the reason why I've decided to sport this for this episode. So the beret usually associated with French painters, Cuban revolutionaries, and Richard Thompson. Justin Hawkins writes again. Like, subscribe, sign up for the alerts, watch one of these 2 videos, and listen to Richard Thompson. The link to my Playlist is in the description. Cheers.